Eat Lux your way with the Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. There's the classic $5 box, the indulgent $7 box, and a whole new obsession in the $9 box, the Flamin' Hot Grilled Cheese Burrito. Try the Lux Cravings boxes at Taco Bell today.
How's your day going?
Going good. Thank you again.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons. It's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim. It's the only thing like it in the world.
Really, guys?
What? Jackson's always had those game ready.
Let's go!
Hey Bronco Nation, this is Kenzie with Boise State Soccer. When I moved to Boise, I thought I was ready for anything. Training, no problem. New teammates, bring it on. But driving on snow and ice, yeah, that was a whole new challenge. Here in Boise, winters mean real weather. That's why I'm so grateful for my Ford all-wheel drive. If you're new to Boise or just ready for a safer winter, head to Lithia Ford of Boise. Come check out the full lineup of all-wheel drive vehicles at Lithia Ford of Boise. And when you buy here, you're supporting Boise State athletics. Come see us at Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Find your sun with Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Cold, refreshing, and made for moments like these all year long. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust rowpaint.com to get that job done right.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live is the only daily show that talks nothing but Boise State sports. And we do it with you. Give us your comments or questions in the ICCU YouTube chat. Or leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox at speakpipe.com/BNN. BNN broadcasts come from the Sun Cruiser Studios. Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea, made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth and easy to drink. Crack open a Sun Cruiser and let the good times cruise. Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise, and our major sponsors, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, rowpaint.com, and the Blue and Orange Store. At Lithia Ford of Boise, we're proud to stand with Boise State athletics. Through our NIL marketing partnerships, we're investing in the future of student athletes. Lithia Ford of Boise, here to get you there, wherever that may be. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho. Broadcasting from the Sun Cruiser Studios, here's BJ Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
we doing, Bronco Nation? Welcome on into Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on X. Give us a like, a subscription, share us, all that good stuff. Tell your friends and help us move up in the algorithms here. We're pushing towards 8,000 YouTube subscribers. So if you can give us a like or a subscription, we would appreciate that. Mike, I just got out of the shower a little earlier, and I still have looks like I have water in my eyes here. So I'm not stoned or anything or taking anything. But that if anyone sees why your eyes so red, I don't know. Always take a shower and get water in my eyes. So at least I'm taking a shower, I guess.
Are you sure you're not crying about the fact that the St. Louis Rams aren't in the Super Bowl or something like that?
No, I'm past that, but I do dislike both these teams very much. So, no, and
I love speaking to Johnny this week when it comes to the Seahawks. I know we're going to talk Super Bowl in a little bit, but a couple of subtle jabs at Johnny with the Seahawks. It's good for him to keep him humble this week, and I've definitely appreciated that. So nicely done there.
You could have said I was crying because Torrey Holt got omitted from the Hall of Fame again. Torrey Holt should 100% be in the NFL Hall of Fame if you look at some of his numbers as a wide receiver back in the day. So I'm still mad about that, but you can't really be mad about any of the five that got in last night. They all deserve it, but there's a backlog of wide receivers, and somehow Torrey Holt, you look at his 1,000-yard seasons and things he did with that Greatest Show on Turf, he should be in, but that's a discussion for another day. But busy morning for me. I'm hurrying off to the airport right when we're done, Mike. So got the little packing, got the shower in. Yeah, got the water in my eyes. We're good to go for Bronco Nation News here. Heading to Albuquerque, final scheduled trip, Mike. I wrote a story at BroncoNationNews.com last night. It's getting pretty good traction amongst the New Mexico fans as well. Leon Rice kind of reflecting yesterday on the pit and his memories there. And it goes all the way back to 2000 when he was a first-year assistant at Gonzaga. They played in the NCAA tournament down there in the Sweet 16 against Purdue, and that was kind of his first experience down there and what he learned about how to coach in altitude. He said he still takes to this day when he coaches games in altitude because of some things that happened in that game. And they went back and he played friend for Shilla's Lobos in 2002. They ended up losing in overtime, or they won that game in overtime, then lost the NCAA tournament there to Wyoming one year. So he has some history there at Gonzaga. He's coached there 13 times as the head coach at Boise State. 17th and final scheduled trip for Leon Rice to the pit. And we all know about the incident with the baseball team. And obviously his relationship with the mascot Snake down there is kind of cool. And I know that the fans like to get on him around this conference, but it does feel like, New Mexico in particular is one that has some a love-hate relationship, I guess you could say, but a respect, I believe, or he hopes it's a respect, Mike, on both sides. And who knows if they'll go again, but the 17th and final trip for Leon Rice, at least for now, tomorrow night.
Kind of bittersweet moment. I'm going to miss New Mexico, and a lot of people are because of exactly what you just said. And the beautiful part of that, it's not just germane to Boise State and Leon Rice. The New Mexico fan base has this relationship with a lot of different coaches, a lot of different programs, a lot of different cities. I first walked into the pit, I think, in 1983, and just absolutely was blown away because I was covering Utah when they were back together in the same league. And I was just, as a young reporter, I was blown away by what I saw there. And here we are in 2026, and the pit and New Mexico basketball have not changed. They've obviously gone through a lot of highs and a lot of lows, and they're maybe not quite as respectable as they have been in the past, but they're certainly at this level a very good program with a lot of good stories, a lot of good heritage, and I'm going to miss them. I wish the timing would have been a little bit better, and I don't trust the football program, but it'd certainly be nice to have New Mexico basketball into the future Pac-12. That's going to be an unfortunate one. I can't imagine lining up to schedule a lot of non-conference games to go to Albuquerque. So this very well could be the end of the run for Boise State, New Mexico.
Yeah, Leon Rice coached 16 games there, as I said. 3 as an assistant at Gonzaga, went 1-2. He is 4-9 as the head coach at Boise State there. So he is 5-11 in that building. But Boise State has won 2 of the last 4 games at the pit. And I was going down memory lane, just some incredible games. 2015, Derek Marks had 31 points there in a win. The 2018 game, you had Chandler Hutchison with 23, Christian Sengfelder, that one-year transfer, at 24. In that game, they won by 2. And then 2022, Marcus Schaefer Jr. had 18 points. The game in 2023, they lost in overtime, but Tyson Degenhardt had 28 points. He hit a 3-pointer to tie the game with like a second to go on a great inbounds play, and then they end up losing that game in overtime. And then 2024. Who could remember Max Rice, 35 points down there, hit 7 3-pointers. Boise State wins that game. Last year they got blown out, didn't play particularly well in the game last year, but as I mentioned, a lot of other kind of side stories to it too, with the incident in 2023 with the baseball team and what happened there outside the locker room. Both sides kind of disagree on what happened with that, but that was obviously had Leon Rice fired up after the game. And that video I checked on YouTube, Mike, that I posted after that game has more than 500,000 views on Twitter from that making the rounds after that game. And then the last couple of years, he got booed after that baseball game. And then you had when he went to Utah State, they made like a cutout of a baseball card for Leon Rice with him talking about that. And so I jokingly said the fans, they love you in the Mountain West. And he kind of laughed. He's like, are you being sarcastic? And but I do think whether it's how he gets on the officials, Mike, or just the fact that he's been here for so long and the longest tenured coach in this league, I think fans do love kind of getting on him a little bit. And I don't think this is Wyoming, Air Force, San Jose. Those are nothings, but I think a place like the Pit and tomorrow night it's going to be in maybe Reno as well back in December. But I feel like just with the history of the arena and everything, and like I said, it goes back 26 years for Leon Rice. I do feel like he's going to take a second tomorrow and kind of look around. I think this one's going to hit a little different than some of the others. Probably,
I would imagine so. And definitely after the game, when that thing hits zeros, and hopefully he's got a smile on his face and can walk away with a nice victory. But yeah, I would imagine there'll be a lot of reflecting after that game in terms of his past there and his past there. And just probably, and if he loses, he'll probably just say, sayonara, don't ever want to see your sorry ass again, talking to a building, and talking to a fan base. and I know there is a lot of respect there. It's nothing too serious. The New Mexico fan base is so solid and always has been so solid. And that's the beauty of what they have. It's not about the coaches. It's not about the players. It's about the community. It's about that fan base. And they're always very loyal. You see them at the NC or at the Mountain West basketball tournament. It doesn't matter if their team is 500 or not. They have more fans at the postseason conference tournament than everybody else combined. And you can even throw UNLV in there if you want as well. It's that much of a dominant deal. And I'll definitely miss that juice, that attitude. That's why the Mountain West, that's why the Boise States of the world are leaving the old Mountain West, is because there's too many schools at the bottom that don't have the kind of emotional connection to their community that New Mexico does, and that's what makes this basketball team so special.
If New Mexico, if the decision had come like now as opposed to 2.5 years ago or whatever it was, do you think New Mexico would have got more serious conversation? Who knows how long Jason Eck's going to be there? Who knows how long you can keep the football program rolling? And I understand it's all about football, but I totally agree that from a basketball standpoint, which is what they're kind of doing, building this strong basketball conference right now, New Mexico would have been a perfect fit.
Yeah, no. There's no chance in hell because it comes down to the TV people. And the TV, the question, these stories become very, very complicated, but guys, it's really, really simple. A person asks a TV guy, how much value can they bring to my conference? And when they say XXXX, it's no thank you. New Mexico brings zero value to a conference, zero. Because it is all about football. And it's not about winning in an 18-month period. It's about the TV viewers you bring. If you can't get UNLV into the new Pac-12 because the TV people said no, they bring no value to the conference. And I know UNLV is really no different than New Mexico. They're kind of peers, really, if you think about it. Two underperforming communities tease us every now and then with decent basketball and decent football. And you always think that there's potential, but there's not. And the TV viewers know that. The TV viewers or the TV executives take the emotion out of it. They look at it black and white with business numbers, whether we like it or not. And Albuquerque and Vegas bring no value, according to those guys. So I think they made the right decision. It just would have been a lot of fun for guys like you and me and the fan bases to watch Boise State continue to play New Mexico in basketball.
Yeah, I wish the only thing for me is I wish there was a nonstop, obviously, from Boise to Albuquerque. It's tough having to connect to go there, but once you get there, the arena is iconic. The way you walk in, Mike, I don't know which door you walked in when you went there with Utah, but you come in and you're literally at the top and you funnel down and it literally is a pit. And there's just something special about it. You have that long ramp. People are on there talking about it. I'm sure today we'll see tomorrow, I guess, from the shoot around, see the videos of the players trying to roll the ball all the way up the ramp. Kobe Young, I guess, did it a couple years ago when there was some controversy about whether he crossed the line to the ramp when he threw the ball, but it's only been done 7 or 8 times, I think, to roll the ball all the way up that ramp. And I already know I'm out of shape, Mike, but you find out pretty quickly walking up that ramp. Usually at halftime, you want to go get a Diet Coke or something, or go back to the media room at halftime. At the pit, it's like, no, I'm good in my seat for this game, because it certainly is quite the. It's just different. It's just unique with the way that the pit, the way it's set up. And Leon Rice talked about it, just the way that the roof is there, or the acoustics, however it is, it just gets super loud in there. And it's a lot different than like a Grand Canyon. I mean, Grand Canyon, I don't want to call it fake, but they pump in techno music and there's disco balls and they make the noise. It's kind of more of a natural, pure noise there at New Mexico, where it just gets really loud throughout the game. And if you're a basketball fan, it should be on anyone's kind of bucket list to go see a game there. And certainly they've gone through some different coaches here in the last decade plus since I've been covering this league, Mike, and they still keep winning. And a lot of it is because of the home court there. And here they are with the first-year coach, Eric Olin, and they're 18-5. They had won 23 home games in a row before they lost the other night to Utah State. By the way, Boise State, I mentioned last year, got blown out there, Mike, but 4 of the last 6 games there, so 4 of the 5 before that, of the losses, 4 of their last 5 losses before last year were by either 1 or 2 points. So they typically, I think in Leon Rice's 9 losses there, they've only lost by double digits twice. So they typically play pretty well in the pit and at least have competitive games there. You would hope to see that tomorrow. But what do you make of the matchup? Boise State's won 5 of 6 going down there. Like I said, historically a place where they've played well, but haven't always won down there. Just 4-9 under Leon. I would like to know how that compares to 4-9 to some of the other teams in the league. That might actually be one of the better records. I don't know, but New Mexico coming off a tough 20-point loss at home to Utah State. They don't want to lose 2 in a row at home. Boise State's trying to keep this thing rolling here. Boise State did beat them earlier in the season back in Boise, held them to 53 points. Leon said they missed a lot of shots. They're probably not going to miss on Saturday, so you got to just play a lot better than you did in that game. But what do you make of the challenge, the opportunity for Boise State here tomorrow night?
Yeah, I mean, the way you say that, it's a good storyline, and there is a good storyline tomorrow, and this game's going to be fairly entertaining. But I'll tell you what, I'll be real honest, and I probably won't get a lot of popularity votes on this one. I've kind of lost interest in this team as a team. And when I say lost interest, not really lost interest, but I'm not chasing victories. I'm not chasing the top of the standings. I'm not chasing any kind of expectations and goals with this team anymore. I'm kind of done with this team as a team. At this point in the season, I think they are who they are. They're a 500 team in an average conference at best. And this is a good team that's going to get some wins. This is a good team that's going to get some puncher's chance. What I've done now, and I don't mean to derail your conversation, is I'm really fascinated, and I'm in love with 3 or 4 or 5 of the individual players on this team in terms of their progress on the basketball court, or their development, or their storylines on the basketball court. And I want to see how I'm obsessed the last 10 days with Dylan Andrews and the way that he's been able to kind of resurrect his season from the first half of the season. Guys like Drew Fielder, and what can he accomplish, and so many other different individual storylines. So I'm going to spend the next month just really attaching myself to individual storylines on this team, because I think it's more fascinating than it's been in a long time. With Tyson Degenhart, you always knew what you got. You got professionalism, you got automatic results, you got robotic behaviors in terms of going out there and just being a pro and taking care of your business. There wasn't a lot of drama or excitement with a guy like Tyson Degenhart. Other players you could probably say the same about, but I'm really fascinated by the individuals on this team. So I'm not chasing NCAA tournaments or conference tournaments or at-large nonsense. I think that's crazy, and I think it's ridiculous. And every fan is going to be different in terms of how they approach this. So I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow because of the storylines that you talked about. But I'm going to spend the next month just fascinated by the individual storylines on this basketball team, because I think there's some cats on this team that are doing some pretty cool things, and I want to see how they finish.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's talking at large right now. If they are crazy is not even a strong enough word to say that. But I do think winning some of these games and positioning yourself for the conference tournament is get the best seed you can, see what happens in Vegas. I mean, I still think there's some things as a team to play for, but certainly at large or NCAA tournament at this point is kind of crazy. I agree to be talking about. By the way, Mike, this is the last time I ever take a shower right before the show. Sky Ship says BJ getting a pink eye. No. Looks like had a few too many Sun Cruisers last night. No. What else was another one I saw here? Another Sun Cruiser one. I do love Sun Cruisers, but none last night. Oh, BJ made a trip to Ontario this morning. No.
It's just your right eye. I know a good Ontario trip when I see one, and you can't just do it in your right eye and your left eye. So did you get soap in your eye or something?
I don't know why. Every shower I take, I come out of the shower for half an hour with just water, red eyes. I mean, my wife gives me crap, and I do it every time. I don't know how. That's just funny. Assumed it happened to everybody. I don't know. So I guess it's the fact that at least I'm getting clean in the shower. At least I have proof I take a shower, Mike, every once in a while. But
yes, sir.
Let's see. Okay, so we have quite the disparity here. Sports guys watching from Minnesota. Appreciate you. Kelly Gage watching in Costa Rica again today. So she wins that one. Brian watching from Arizona. Christine is watching while traveling through Montana. Drive safe there. So appreciate you guys. We're from Montana to Minnesota to Costa Rica. They're watching all across the country here. So we appreciate all of you guys. Jordan says the new era is tough, to Prater's point. New names developing, no idea how long they'll stay. It's a season-to-season type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, it really is kind of a season-to-season kind of thing, and every season is going to be different, and every season is going to have storylines. And let's hope that Boise State can bounce back next year, and at least from my perspective, be a competitive team that chases conference championships. I know it's going to be crazy next year in the new Pac-12, and that's going to be fun, and the storylines there are going to explode and going to be fascinating, no doubt about it. But again, I'm just kind of done with this team as a team. But again, I've never been more fascinated by some of the individuals on this team, and the Dylan Andrews story. I mean, I need to bust out a column for BNN on Dylan Andrews, and just the way he's really impressed me, the way he's conducted himself, the way he's carried himself. And I really, really want that. And I've met him a couple of times. You know him way better than I do. But I really want this guy to finish strong. I'd love to see Drew Fielder finish strong, and some of these other guys. And I just cannot wait to see how they play over this next 4 to 6 weeks.
Well, if Dylan Andrews finishes strong, I think the team could finish strong, because the numbers are pretty hot and cold, cut and dry, whatever you want to say. When he plays well, they win a lot of games. When he doesn't play well, they don't win a lot of games. And so I think those could go hand in hand moving forward here. And yeah, that sounds like a good idea for a column, because it does sound like they had I don't know if come to Jesus moment's the right phrase, but they had at a practice, it sounds like last week or in the last couple of weeks, something happened where they kind of had, him and Leon and the staff or whatever, just kind of something. I don't know. Leon was kind of cryptic in the post game about it, but something happened at a practice. And so that was like a moment where it kind of all came together for him, and he's played really well the last couple of games and surged forward here. And I think that he's a huge key to this team moving forward. You mentioned Fielder as well, and Andrew Meadow. I mean, again, you're talking about finish a couple of guys, Mike. I know nobody wants to hear this too, but I get it. It's the transfer portal era. Not everyone's going to stay, but I think we've even had this discussion. Like, you lose Dylan Andrews, you lose Javen Buchanan, 2 huge losses. You lose Dominic Parolin, but on paper, I mean, you got a chance to bring back 7 of your top 10 players or whatever next season on paper. And I mean, at this point, they've already kept Andrew Meadow all these years. I'm not going to just expect he's leaving. Pearson Carmichael could have left last year and did, and I'm not going to expect he's leaving. Someone will surprise us probably, but on paper, right now, you've got Fielder, you've got, Meadow and Carmichael and Nato and Aarons and Keene, and now that Bunn is coming alive a little bit, if you were someone that's big picture-wise, it's kind of left all I'm doing with my St. Louis Cardinals looking 3 years down the road or whatever now that we've traded everybody. But on paper, if you can, and let's be honest, they've had some hit or miss in the transfer portal with some guys. Dylan Anderson, some of the guys that they've paid big money to haven't worked out. But if they could hit on the transfer portal with 1 or 2 guys and bring this core back, I think they could be a pretty solid team again next year. We'll see. But right now, you're right. It's about finishing this year. And I know you're looking at the individual players. I think a lot of people are too, but I think a lot of fans still think that, and rightfully so, that on this team is, as they've shown, good enough to beat anybody and certainly bad enough to beat anybody as well. And so I think it's just depends which team shows up. And if they get the version that had a 30-10 lead on Nevada, for 4 days in March, who knows what could happen. So we'll see what happens moving forward. I still think there's reasons to, if you're a fan, stay engaged the rest of the season. And like you're saying, whether it's to follow a couple individual players, whether it's to see if they can go on some magical run. I do think the next month has the potential to be kind of fun.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So I don't think the team is going to get any. I mean, I guess if you're chasing a top 5 spot to get a bye in a tournament, I guess that's a goal if that's the only thing you have left. So again, that's kind of why I've checked out. There's no way that this team, based on what we've seen, and obviously anything can change, and go ahead and mark your receipts or bookmark this, but this team is not capable of going on a magical run. This team is not capable of chasing the top half of this conference. Can you position yourself the best you can for March and go on a 3-day bender? Sure, anybody can do that. We see that in college basketball all the time, and this team is not that down in the dumps that's not impossible, but I just don't see it. I think that this is an average team at best, and with really, really good individual talent. I'm not sure why it's not gelling more, because I do see talent here, and I think the coaching staff, and this is not an indictment on the coaching staff, I think they've done a nice job of trying to grind and get this team back together. It didn't work out the way they wanted to. The chemistry didn't work. The early half of the season didn't work. And I think they've done a nice job. I think they've done a really nice job of putting them back into this position. But this team is not capable of a magical run to me. This team is not capable of any kind of dominance in March. So I choose for myself to focus on the individuals. And that's going to be a fascinating storyline, at least for me, over these next month.
I think with how cut and dry you were right there, we can start printing the Sweet 16 tickets, Sweet 16 shirts right now. But
not happening, DJ. Not happening. Not happening.
BSU Bill says, I agree, Prater. Kurt Fuller says, agree, Mike. Just can't get many full games together as a team. By the way, my apologies. Kelly in Costa Rica is a dude. All right, Kelly. I don't remember what I said. Appreciate you, Kelly. Thanks for watching. Hope you're enjoying Costa Rica. All right, so the game tomorrow night, final scheduled meeting at the Pit. BNN will be live with the pregame show. 8:00 Mountain Time starts. We'll be live at 7:00 with the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show. We'll show you the Pit. We'll show you the sights and sounds. I may go on a little tour of the Pit pregame and try to show folks just this iconic building one more time, and some of the warning signs about the oxygen when you walk in, and some of that, and maybe try to hang out in the parking lot too if I can, to get the final hug with Snake and Leon before the game too, and see. But should be a fun game tomorrow. I think Ken Palm projects New Mexico by 6, so we'll wait and see what the point spread is, but probably 5 or 6 for New Mexico. And so it would be a quote-unquote upset if Boise State were to go down there and win, and I don't expect them to. I think New Mexico at home, after losing that game to Utah State, probably bounces back and wins. But like you said, Mike, big picture-wise, an individual loss on the road at New Mexico is not necessarily a win would be nice, but a win wouldn't really turn the season around either at this point. So it's just kind of a like you said, a game on the schedule, but certainly to build momentum here moving forward, they'd like to get every win they can. And if they do have hopes of a magical run in the conference tournament, you want to finish with the highest seed you can. And so I think the 4 or 5 would be, they're 6th right now. If you can get up to the 4 or 5, that would help them position themselves for the tournament. But we'll kind of see how they all stack up. They're home next Friday against UNLV. And by the way, little birdie told me, Mike, later today, they are going to be announcing some more details on some of the stuff for the reseeding for next year. And particularly this one will involve, I guess not necessarily the students, but they talked about that fan wall and the fan section they're trying to build at the other end of the arena, section 12. There's going to be some details, an announcement on that coming today, a new name for that group, and possibly an event next week before the UNLV game where fans can start to do some things with tickets for next year and come. And I don't know what I was supposed to say or not say, but be on the lookout for that. There's some details coming today. And from what I've been briefed on and told, it sounds pretty darn cool what they're trying to build with this fan section going into the Pac-12 and some of the things they're trying to do to engage not only the students, but also engage some of the, diehard core fans to come out to the arena next season. So stay tuned for that. It should be, I think, today, maybe next couple of days, and some details on that with an event possibly before the UNLV game next week. And they are doing the Valentine's Day. Do you see the Valentine's Day deal, Mike? To next Friday, you can get buy one, get one free tickets, and you get a free dessert. I believe it. I don't want to say the wrong place, but one of the steakhouses is giving away a free dessert, and you get a buy one, get one free if you have a date. But if you want to come solo, apparently they're going to let you come solo and buy. You get one ticket, and they're going to put it in the lower level. And I mean, Suzanne Lavender did a tremendous job writing this release. I was chuckling numerous times. I'm just going to find one line here. Let's see here. For fans hoping to make a new connection, the singles night ticket offer includes one reserved seat in the lower parquet level seating section, creating an opportunity to meet others in a fun game day atmosphere. Bronco conversation cards will be provided to help start a dialogue with other ticket buyers. Take a leap of faith. Find a seat with fate in hand and impress those next to you with some of the best seats available in Extra Mile Arena. And their ticket buyers will receive complimentary dessert per ticket from Ruth's Chris. And also they're going to have Valentine's Day themed promotions throughout the game, including the Kiss Cam, in-game entertainment, and more. And it says whether someone is happy but looking for an affordable date night with their partner, or someone singling and mingling for the next chapter of their lives. The 8 p.m. game on February 13th, they're offering 2 special ticket offers for what hopes to be a memorable night, Mike Prater.
I love that. That's hilarious. And I'm sorry I didn't read that press release because that's funny information. I saw the headline and kind of skipped over it. Shame on me. I do have to give Boise State, and I'm not sure how much it's going to work because I've been seeing these same games being played since the early 1990s in terms of trying to get students and fans and try to change the energy inside that building. I love what they did last week with the student section, the nachos and the ski passes and the sunglasses. And now this Valentine's Day thing. Boise State and JD and his crew are just crushing it in terms of ideas. It's not always working. I don't think the student thing worked really a lot the other night. And certainly the fan base is, until this fan base, the demographics of this fan base changes dramatically, is always going to be different. But, what they're doing next year with the seating arrangement, what they're doing this year with individual games, I really, really like that. And eventually something has to stick, right? Something has to click. And maybe they can find something to become permanent out there. But it's just always different. It's just always, a little bit of juice here. I remember the Zerkies back in the day. I don't know if you were here when the Zerkies were here. They've tried so many different things, and here they are again trying things, trying to make it happen, trying some new things and some different things. And I think it's really, really cool. So the effort that JD and his crew are putting into this basketball season, I'm very, very, very impressed. And I just hope that it sticks. I cannot wait till maybe I need to buy a ticket and take the wife into the singles section next Friday night to just kind of observe. That's kind of a fun little people watching experiment. Maybe I'll have to do that, BJ.
Well, of course, numerous comments coming in the chat that Johnny is going to be all over that deal.
Probably, but I mean, then he would have to buy a ticket though, and Johnny doesn't like to buy tickets. So in order to sit in that section, you got to buy a ticket. Maybe he'll take his press pass and just kind of wander up and down the sidelines or something.
By the way, our man Kelly in Costa Rica, he's checking out. He says, "Good luck to the basketball team. I'm going to get day drunk at a swim-up bar. The dude is out."
Nice. I like that. See,
he wins the day, I guess.
Yeah, that's a man with priorities. And it's probably about the same time frame as it is here.
I think 1 hour later, he said yesterday. So we'll just give him 10:34. That's time.
You can, when you're in Costa Rica, you can start day drinking at 10 and 30 in the morning, especially if you're in a pool that has an open bar.
Yeah, maybe start with one of those frozen daiquiris or something, kind of ease into it. Yeah, no doubt about it. All right. Do you want to talk a little football, Mike Prater? We had Spencer Danielson on our show yesterday, or I guess Tuesday night. We have the Super Bowl, a couple local connections to that. So big game tomorrow for the basketball team. Again, 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock, I'll be live with the pregame show from the pit. And looking forward to getting down there for at least one more trip myself. So full basketball coverage coming tomorrow. And again, Nathan Carroll has a preview of the game that'll get posted today. My story on Leon Rice and his memories of the pit are posted today as well. And so you can get both of those stories, BroncoNationNews.com. But let's switch and talk football in the remaining time we have. We'll do that right after I thank the Lithia Ford of Boise crew, Jim Sturk and company. Lithia Ford of Boise online at LithiaFordBoise.com. You can view their full inventory of vehicles online. Do your research ahead of time. Be ready to test drive a couple vehicles and be on your way. They're taking care of JD, Spencer, a lot of players, coaches, administrators, NIL deals and things. So you want someone that supports Boise State about as big as possible. That is Jim Sturk, Jamie Drake, Lithia Ford of Boise. Again, check them out online, LithiaFordBoise.com. Hey, shout out Sun Cruiser, Mike. They sent me one of those LED neon signs that I added to my game room. So I'll be giving all kinds of advertising for anyone that walks in my house for a Sun Cruiser. But appreciate them. They also stocked the beer fridge with Sun Cruisers for the Super Bowl party. So we're going to be the Raines family Super Bowl party, which Mike Prater has declined to attend. I know you do have better better options than this, I'm sure. But you'll be missing out on some Sun Cruisers in the fridge there. We appreciate Sun Cruiser, whether it's the iced tea vodka, the lemonade vodka. Sun Cruiser, perfect drink for the Super Bowl. Pick one up at a Jackson's, Ridley's, or your local Treasure Valley grocery store or gas station. ICCU.com. Check them out as well. Idaho Central Credit Union, whether it's the mobile e-branch, online banking, moving money around, whatever your money need is, whether it's the high yield online savings, all the different things that they can do, the Premier Rewards card, Idaho Central Credit Union, best in the business, folks. You don't realize what you're missing until you make the switch. They're now back on board as a sponsor with Boise State, so happy to see that, and we appreciate Idaho Central Credit Union. I think their next ad, we should go from Pearson Carmichael to like Mike Prater holding up a credit card or something. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. Hopefully you took advantage yesterday of the Jackson's card, 75-cent fountain drink at Jackson's when the Broncos score 75 points. So if the Broncos can get 75 points tomorrow at the Pit, you can get a 75-cent fountain drink on Monday from our friends at Jackson's. And don't forget, when you use that Let's Go Rewards, you can get a 99-cent coffee or hot chocolate anytime, any day from our friends at Jackson's. Hey, Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com. I think Stan Nicolasen's going to be providing some tacos for the Super Bowl party, Mike. So maybe I get enough sponsors involved, I can change your mind. But TacoBellWorks.com. We appreciate the Nicolasen family, the SON management group. Taco Bell, whether it's their award-winning breakfast, those breakfast quesadillas, the crispy chicken strips, all the options as well. Love the Cantina Bowl myself. Taco Bell. Visit a Treasure Valley Taco Bell location today, and the Blue and Orange Store online, theblueandorangestore.com. They got all your Boise State gear. You can get those customized football and basketball jerseys in minutes at the Allen Noble Hall of Fame location. They've got 14,000 plus hats on the hat wall at the location there at the Boise Town Square Mall. And of course, you can order anywhere in the world online at theblueandorangestore.com. Next week's game against UNLV, by the way, is a stripe out. So make sure you check and see what section you're in and see if you're supposed to wear the blue or the orange. And then if you need that gear, you can get it at the Blue and Orange Store. All right, Mike Prater, the Super Bowl coming up on Sunday. Can we even call it, I don't know, the big game? I don't know what we're allowed to call or say about the game on Sunday. But obviously a couple of connections with George Holani and DeMarcus Lawrence. So I know here in town already a lot of Seahawk fans versus Patriot fans. But with the Boise State connection, I'm sure a lot of people on this show are going to be pulling for the Seahawks.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I mean, the Seahawks are the obvious favorite in this part of the country and probably across the country in general. So I think it's a really cool story. And I love the fact that, I mean, this is the first time Bronco versus Vandal in a Super Bowl. It took 60 Super Bowls to get Boise State versus Idaho. So I love that connection here. But I certainly love the two Boise State dudes because they're completely different stories. I have zero emotional connection to DeMarcus Lawrence. And I think most Boise State fans feel that way. He came here as a football player, and he left as a football player, and we really didn't get a chance to know him. I don't think he did any interviews. He was always in Chris Peterson's doghouse. A JC transfer, just showed up, played great football here, had 20 sacks in 2 different seasons, and left. Now we get to watch him as a football player at the highest of highest levels, and he's really, really good. I think he's got a chance to, if there's a defensive MVP that's got a chance in this game, it's him. He can be a difference maker in this game, and the way he plays football is fascinating, and he's really, really good at what he does. On the flip side, you got George Holani, who we watched play football at Boise State for 5-6 years, and we did get an emotional connection to George Holani. I think we all know who George Holani is, although there's not really much to get to know. He's kind of a quiet Paulie, keeps to himself, doesn't really say too much. And let's be honest with ourselves, guys. Half of you listening right now, you wanted George gone when he declared to come back for his last season because it was Ashton Genty time. And when he said he was coming back, you were a little bugged about that because he's stealing carries from Ashton Genty. Well, George Holani finished his career at Boise State as the 6th all-time leading rusher. And he did it in this classiest of classiest ways. And now, even though Boise State football fans, a lot of them didn't even want him coming back, and I get that because Ashton Genty turned out to be pretty damn good, he's still in the NFL. He's still cranking. He's grinding. He's going to play on Sunday, and he's going to play a role in this game. And if that dude can win a Super Bowl, I might shed a tear.
I love George Holani, but I can't help but think week 2 against your Pittsburgh Steelers, I had the Steelers in my Survivor contest down at Circa, and George Holani had the heads-up play to go pick up that ball for the touchdown, right? Was that his first career touchdown, I believe, on the kickoff that the guy on the Steelers didn't know he had to go pick up? And George Holani with his first NFL touchdown. Memorable for him, memorable for me because it knocked me out in week 2 from the Circa Survivor contest. But, yeah, definitely pulling for George. Was always I feel like a little underrated at Boise State, and just because of his size or whatever else, you just didn't realize.
Lots of injuries.
What's that?
Lots of injuries.
Yeah, that's part of it. Yep, was hurt a lot. That's probably a big part of it. But to see him kind of stick right now and get an opportunity, it's pretty cool for him. And you're right about DeMarcus Lawrence. I mean, even when he left, he like all of a sudden changed the spelling of his name, capitalizing different letter. And so he was definitely, and he was my first year here, 2013 was his last year, I believe. So I believe it crossed over for, I'm trying to think, but I'm pretty sure he crossed over for 1 year. Was he 2012, 2013, or 11 and 12?
I'd have to look.
Okay, I'm pretty sure, but as I said it, now I'm thinking about it, but I'm pretty sure he was here in 2013, my first season here. But either way, yeah, you're right. Cool stories for both of them. And who's the Vandal for folks that don't know?
Christian Ellis, number 53 for the Patriots, part of the famous Luther Ellis family and the boys that he's put in the NFL. So he plays. I mean, I don't think he starts. Maybe he's a part-time starter, kind of definitely part of that rotation, number 53 for the Patriots. So it's been a long time since a Vandal played in the Super Bowl and won it. It's been a long time since a Boise State player played on the. It was Shiloh Kale for the Denver Broncos, the last Vandal who played in the Super Bowl and won. And then we all know it was Jay Ajayi, the last Boise State player to play in a Super Bowl and win. So that drought for the state of Idaho is going away on Sunday. Let's just hope that it's DeMarcus Lawrence and George Alani.
Let's see here. Okay, I was right. 2013 was his last year. He declared when Pete left. Okay, thanks, Blake, for that. Dumb question, but so who was the last Boise State player to win a Super Bowl then?
Jay Ajayi.
Okay, that's right. That's right. You said that. Okay, so that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, so two guys.
7 Boise State players in the history of time have played on the Super Bowl and won it, and the last one was Jay Ajayi. So it's been a pretty significant drought, one of the longer ones in Boise State Super Bowl history, but let's hope that changes Sunday.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, so Spencer Danielson talked. He came on our simulcast of the game on Tuesday. I'm not sure if you had a chance to check that interview out or not, Mike, but what do you make of them deciding to push spring ball back? Spring ball is not going to start till after spring break. They typically would do, a session 1 for 2 weeks, a session 2 for a couple of weeks. There was 1 year where they lost Bush Hamden right before spring ball, and when they brought in I guess it was Dirk or whoever came in, they pushed spring ball back a week and at the last minute to kind of allow for that change. But typically they do their first half and second half with spring break in the middle. Now with no spring portal window and a lot of these guys still coming in and some new coaches coming into the building, they decided to push it back. They're not going to start, Spencer said, till the date he said was a Thursday, March 26th, which would put the spring game in late April. If you just do the math. So a much different calendar this year, but they're going to go, 4 or 5 weeks straight through, it sounds like.
Yeah, we've been told that spring game is Saturday, April 25th. So that does line up with Thursday, the 26th. They get back from spring break on that Monday, the 22nd or whatever that is. So I like it. As a matter of fact, I think it's brilliant. I really do think it's brilliant. You have 35 new players on this football team right now. And if you can get them on campus on January 10th or whatever the number was, and get them all the way into end of March. That's 2.5 months of just setting the foundation, setting the base for 35 new football players and just getting them acclimated and everything. So there's no rush for spring ball around here. The weather's still crappy in March. The spring break thing, I've always kind of been tricky about, 2 weeks of spring camp, then you send them on the way for spring break and then you bring them back. You lose some of that momentum. And I never really liked that, though. So now they're going to send them on spring break. We're going to bring them back, and they're going to be together for an entire month. Just go for an entire month. And I think it's really, really good. Now, as Bob Beeler pointed out in our production meeting yesterday, as we were kind of talking about the pros and cons of that date, if you get hurt in spring ball, probably a little less development time to get ready for the fall camp in July. That might be the one downside when you extend spring camp all the way into late April. But you kind of roll the dice on that and hope you keep your fingers crossed and hope nothing happens. That's one byproduct that could happen, but I love the idea. So when you go to spring break as a 19-year-old kid and you come back knowing you've got a month-long football camp that you got to deal with, you're not getting fat, drunk, and stoned on a beach in Costa Rica. You're taking care of your body. You're keeping that in the back of your mind, and I think that's a good way to police these kids. Not that they're out there getting fat, drunk, and stoned in Costa Rica. I get it. But you know what? If you just kind of keep an eye on your body, keep an eye on your mind, and keep straight during that spring break, and then come back and dive into spring ball, I think it's a good decision by this football staff.
Blake points out also gives them a couple extra weeks of strength training and stuff to get ready for spring ball, or 2 or 3 extra weeks for guys maybe were hurt during the season or had off-season stuff to maybe be ready to participate in spring ball as well.
100%.
That could go.
That's part of the development from January 1st or January 10th all the way to March 26th. 35 newcomers, guys, get a chance to get their feet wet, way more so. And I think that those 2-3 weeks that gives them extra time to prepare for camp is very, very important for those 35 newcomers.
Well, Mike, appreciate you. I love doing business on the air that should be taken care of off the air, but we may have to talk off air and tape my segment today because I don't think I land till 4:40. So we'll maybe on my layover in Vegas or something around noon or something, we can try to tape it if possible, or I guess it'd be 1 o'clock, something like that. We'll touch, if that's possible, we'll touch base, but I guess I'll join you guys today from somewhere. What else we got 3 to 6 today? I know you guys were at the golf. Were you able to get off the fake putting green and do a 3-hour show yesterday, or?
Yeah. It was fun. We were down at the Boise Golf Show, and it's going on all weekend, so go down there and hang out. Yeah, today's show is going to be fun. We got you at 4:15 talking about this game and whatever else angles we talk about. Dirk Cutter, the 5th week in a row that we have Dirk Cutter on, 5 o'clock, our NFL playoff correspondent. He has not missed a playoff game for, I think he's 8-0. He's got his 8. He's picked the last 8 games, and he's going to come on the show at 5 o'clock and not only break down this game, but give us a prediction. But the beautiful thing, guy, is we spent 20 minutes yesterday with Jerry Kramer. Jerry Kramer is 90 years old, living in this town, Super Bowl I champion, Super Bowl II champion, and a Pro Football Hall of Famer. And we called up Jerry Kramer and spent 25 minutes with him. It was one of the most riveting interviews we've ever done. We've never put, and trust me, I'm an old guy, so I'm not trying to discriminate against old guys, but we've never put a 90-year-old man on a radio show before. And I'm telling you, Jerry Kramer was 58 years old and just crushed it. And this guy is funny. This guy is smart. We talked Super Bowl memories from Super Bowl I, Super Bowl II, and Pro Football Hall of Fame. At 3:15 today, guys, a very, very special treat. Jerry Kramer live on, not live because we recorded it yesterday, but on Idaho Sports Talk, the full, complete interview. It's going to be fascinating.
Awesome stuff. We'll be listening today for that. Mike, appreciate your time, man. I'm going to keep it rolling a little bit. We'll let you get ready for your Friday meeting and your show, but we'll talk to you at some point today, and we'll be listening 3 to 6, Idaho Sports Talk, man. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate you, BJ. Safe travels, and go Boise State tomorrow night. Individual players, go get them.
Appreciate it, Mike. There he is, Mike Prater, KTIK 95.3 The Ticket. You can listen 3 to 6 today. Hey, Signature Roofing, online at mysignatureroofing.com. Whether it's a re-roof, a repair, an estimate, or an inspection, they have you covered online at mysignatureroofing.com. You can leave us a voicemail, speakpipe.com/BNN. And, of course, 6 games tomorrow, the Signature Roofing scoreboard update. You got Grand Canyon, UNLV. Utah State is at Wyoming. San Diego State, Air Force, San Jose, Colorado State, Fresno State, Nevada, and, of course, Boise State at New Mexico wraps it up at 8 p.m. tomorrow night. Signature Roofing scoreboard update from our friends at Signature Roofing. Hey, Bauscher Real Estate. Check out BauscherRealEstate.com, number 1 selling real estate team in the Northwest, 208-252-9877. And whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, Matt Bauscher and his team ready to help you out today. Check them out online, BauscherRealEstate.com. Element Fencing, whether it's decks, pergolas, fences, cedar, wrought iron, vinyl, they can do it all, folks. 25 years, Brady and his team been building custom fences in and around the area. They're ready to help you with your custom project. They'll help you every step of the way and design that perfect fencing project. So elementfencing.com. Check them out today, and they'll have our defensive player of the game on the Jackson's postgame show coming up tomorrow night in Albuquerque. Hey, Ridley's Family Markets, shop ridleys.com. 13 locations in the state of Idaho, surrounding states. Don't go to the big corporate stores, folks. Go think local, think family-owned, and that's Ridley's Family Markets. Some great deals right now. Check them out online. Find a location near you at shopridleys.com. I know that Cuno location is a big hit here in the Treasure Valley. So Ridley's Family Markets. Check them out at shopridleys.com. Rowpaint.com. 20% off those winter painting projects right now, whether it's interior, exterior painting, those concrete coatings. The Painter for a Day project's a big hit. You just hire a painter and you give them the paint, and they'll paint whatever you want them to. So if you have some touch-ups you need done or anything, the Painter for a Day project is a great option as well. Rowpaint.com, R-O-E paint.com. And, of course, Transportation Compliance Service, transcomservice.com. You can get into the trucking industry every step of the way. If you're looking for a new job, Transportation Compliance Service is ready to help you out. Transcomservice.com. TCS, Transportation Compliance Service. Check them out today. Transportation Compliance Service. And tomorrow night, we may do a joint show, the post-game show and another night in the Mountain West. We may just team up together for one mega show. I'll be live at the pit with the Jacksons post-game show. Tom may just join me to start that show. I'll have Leon Rice on. We'll have players on. And then I may just kind of hand it over to Tom to continue giving his thoughts on the other games after we're done with the post-game show. So didn't want to make Tom wait 30 or 40 minutes. Didn't really want to shortchange our post-game show. So we may just combine for one big mega 90-plus minute show tomorrow night talking Boise State and then talking about the other 5 games in the conference as well. So make plans tomorrow. The pregame show, the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show coming up at 7 o'clock live tomorrow night from the pit. And then as soon as the game goes final around 9:15 or so, flip over to our YouTube channel here for the Jacksons postgame show, and that'll combine with another night in the Mountain West recap of all 6 games of action tomorrow night on Bronco Nation News. So again, shout out Sun Cruiser, perfect beverage for the Super Bowl. Appreciate our studio sponsor here, Sun Cruiser. And of course, our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise, online, lithiafordboise.com. Check them out as well. We appreciate all of our great sponsors. Go support the sponsors, folks. Heading to Albuquerque today, thanks to ICCU, our road trip sponsor. Idaho Central Credit Union, online at iccu.com. Check them out. Make the switch today. You'll be happy you did. And we appreciate ICCU for helping with our road trips, but all of our great sponsors. You like the coverage you're seeing, the pregame, postgame interviews, a live look at warm-ups on the road. The only, you're getting exclusive coverage here, folks. The other newspapers, the other TV stations, they don't see value in traveling to road games anymore, and that's not the case with BNN. We still travel to every road game and give you the coverage that we think you deserve. And so if you're a paying subscriber, great. If you can join, that'd be great. $6 a month, I believe it is, for the annual subscription. 50% off right now at BroncoNationNews.com. We'd love to have you subscribe. You can read Nathan Carroll's game preview, all of Chris Van Sickle's recruiting coverage, all of our great coverage at BroncoNationNews.com. But if not, the easiest way to help us out is just support our sponsors and tell them that you are supporting them because of their advertising on Bronco Nation News. So whether it's switching your bank over, whether it's getting some Taco Bell, a painting project at Ridley, going to Ridley's, a painting project from rowpaint.com, whether it's buying a new car at Lithia Ford. I mean, it could be as big as a car at Lithia or as small as a couple tacos at Taco Bell or an energy drink at Jackson's. Support the sponsors, folks. Help us out. Get some Sun Cruisers, all of our great sponsors, and keep these shows free for you to watch on YouTube. So have a great rest of your Friday. Again, a couple new stories coming to BroncoNationNews.com later today. Go check those out. And we're going to head to Albuquerque, and we'll have full coverage on the pregame show, 7 o'clock tomorrow on Bronco Nation News and BroncoNationNews.com. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button on the way out here. Tell your friends about us, and we'll see you from the pit, the final scheduled meeting in Albuquerque for Boise State and New Mexico before the Broncos go to the Pac-12 next season. Full coverage coming tomorrow at 7 o'clock on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Have a great Friday. We'll talk to you on Idaho Sports Talk from 3 to 6, and then we'll see you from the pit tomorrow night at 7 on the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from the Sun Cruiser Studios here on Bronco Nation News and BroncoNationNews.com. Have a good day, everybody.